Good evening, you're watching My Media Prime Television. This is Prime News live from Studio 1 of My Media Prime here in Douala, Cameroon's economic capital with me, Fon Quinter. Begin today's edition of Prime News in the northwest region where inhabitants of Bengui Road, a neighborhood in Bamenda 2 subdivision, have been in tears after their houses were razed by gunmen. The burnings took place yesterday, December 8, 2021. Get full details right ahead. Wednesday, December 8, 2021 has been termed a black day in the city of Bamenda, chief town of the northwest region of Cameroon. At about 6 p.m., persons living around Bengui Road, a neighborhood in Bamenda 2 subdivision, Mezam division, have been in tears after several houses were set ablaze by gunmen. An eyewitness of yesterday's incident pours out his frustration.
Make the world president try to take a decision on this issue for northwest and southwest problem. Look at the houses. People are just moving now, they don't know where to start. Look at the store at the hospital roundabout. They have burned it. People have borrowed money to manage to keep their life. Now they have bring them to square one and they cannot even refund the money. Let the whole world look into what is happening in Cameroon. Make the people ruling this country, make themselves change their mind and let the Holy Spirit come into them.
Some residents of Bengui Road are said to have fled into bushes while others received burns as a result of the incident.
They don't pass me because me too have a day for Fana Road. But luckily, my own house is protected by the mercy of God. If never so, I would have been a victim. But now they have disconnected the cable where they give me light for that house. And now this burning where they don't burn out, between the days where they don't involve into it. Let the world president try to take a decision for Canada.
Some inhabitants of Bengui Road described the act as a retaliation from the men in military attire after an attack in the area, while some say there was heavy exchange of fire between the Cameroon military and separatist fighters. The burning in Bengui Road yesterday, December 8, adds to many that have been recorded in recent times in the crisis-affected northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, with many asking the questions, how did we get here, and for how long will the innocent continue to suffer? Continuous violence in Kuseri by the Arab Shahs and Muslims have left at least 19 persons dead. The intercommunal conflict has forced many to flee and seek refuge in neighboring Chad. Nora Kakebi completes the story.
The intercommunal conflict between the Arab Shahs and the Muslims in Kuseri in the far north region of Cameroon is far from over. The fighting escalated yesterday, December 8, despite efforts by both administrative authorities and security officials to put an end to the prolonged violence. Reports gathered said the Muslims attacked the Arab Shahs, leaving 18 people dead and houses reduced to ashes. The violent clash escalated as the Arab Shahs retaliated and came out in their numbers with machetes as well as other deadly weapons to face the Muslims. It should be noted that yesterday's clash was provoked by Sunday's attack, which left dozens of people dead. To this effect, administrative authorities have called for tolerance and the need to encourage living together in peace and harmony. Governor of the Far North region, Mijiawa Bakari, has this to say.
Certains bergers voulant aller faire paître leurs bœufs dans les marécages.
Some herdsmen wanted to graze their cattle on the pasture land, but the farmers from the other community did not agree because, according to them, the herdsmen were trespassing, and secondly, because they had not harvested their crops, which they said the cattle were destroying.
The
divisional officer of Logan Birni, Zina Damaila, confirmed that a total of 19 persons died in the intercommunal clash on Sunday, with 18 from Arab Shahs and 1 Muslim. These two communities have been fighting each other for a long time over land disputes, and the absence of a common ground has simply led to a latent conflict. As a result, many people have fled the area to seek refuge elsewhere.
Cameroon has received the consignment of 152,000 doses of Pfizer vaccine against COVID-19 from the United States. The vaccines, which are currently at the ultra-COVID storage room of the EIP in Yaoundé, is the fourth vaccine offered Cameroon thanks to the COVAT facility. Eileen Sama with details in the following report.
The consignment of 152,000 doses of Pfizer vaccine against the deadly virus COVID-19 from the USA arrived the nation's capital recently and were preserved at the ultra-cold room of the Expanded Immunization Program EPI in Yaoundé. According to officials at the EPI, Pfizer is the fourth vaccine offered to Cameroon thanks to the COVAX facility. Note here that the facility groups global health organizations, governments, scientists, manufacturers, private sector, and others with the objective of providing innovative and equitable access to COVID-19 diagnostics, treatments, and vaccines, especially in developing countries. Most importantly, children aged 12 to 15 years old will be able to benefit from the Pfizer vaccine to protect against contracting the virus. It is worth mentioning that, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, in the United States, based on evidence from clinical trials in people ages 16 and older, the Pfizer vaccine was 95% effective at preventing laboratory-confirmed infection with the virus that causes COVID-19 in people who received 2 doses and had no evidence of being previously infected. Also, clinical trials revealed that the Pfizer vaccine had 90% efficacy in preventing laboratory-confirmed COVID-19 infection in children aged 5 to 15. Nonetheless, the Pfizer, just like the AstraZeneca and Sinopharm, is a 2-dose vaccine given 21 to 28 days apart. It is also worth mentioning that it was also highlighted that the epidemiological surveillance carried out revealed that the vaccinated population, natural infections, and environmental exposures have improved the immune system of the population against coronavirus.
About 10 regional governors of Cameroon are currently meeting in Yaoundé to strategize on how to make the upcoming AFCON competition a great event. The governors are meeting for the second biannual conference for 2022 under the theme Administrative Authorities and Security Guidelines for End-of-Year Feast and AFCON Cup of Nations Total Energies. Get full details right ahead. Territorial Administration Minister Paul Athanganji has called on all 10 regional governors to fight against urban crime and drug trafficking, which is a permanent disaster for the youth as they are the most affected. He made the call at the start of the second biannual conference of regional governors taking place in Yaoundé, Cameroon's political capital.
Regional governors. A conference is holding against the backdrop of security obligations and continental challenges. As it is the case, and more than ever, you have to oversee the end-of-year festivities. From January 9 to February 6, 2021, Cameroon will be hosting the African Cup of Nations AFCON Total Energy 2021 at the moment when the competition has changed its format from 16 to 24 teams.
The two-day event, presided over by the Minister of Territorial Administration, is holding against the backdrop of security obligations and continental challenges. Thus, there is need to ensure end-of-year festivities and the upcoming AFCON competition goes on hitch-free. With AFCON competition to begin in 30 days, Minad Boss urged our governors to tighten security and fire disaster before, during and after the competition.
We must fight against public disorder before, during, and after the competition. We must keep our cities clean by fighting against urban disorder and by organizing the motorbike sector. During this competition, every Cameroonian must be an ambassador by being welcoming, polite, and behaving reasonably. I insist that during the AFCON, each Cameroon must be an ambassador.
While reiterating that COVID-19 is still a reality in Cameroon, governors were tasked to intensify awareness about barrier measures.
So regional governors will continue to intensify awareness about barrier measures, which include hand washing, mandatory wearing of face masks, and social distancing. We should equally continue to sensitize the population about the relevance of the vaccine, which is not obligatory, but absolutely necessary to curb the spread of the virus.
Other issues to be addressed during the 2-day biannual conference is land grabbing, which is one of the main concerns expressed by parliamentarians during this session. Governors are meeting in Ewane at a time the country is plagued by a series of security challenges in the northwest, southwest, east and far north regions, and it is hoped their deliberations will seek solutions to all these challenges. The Faculty of Science and Management of the University of Gandhi has recognized some students for their outstanding academic performance. The award ceremony was presided over by the Vice Chancellor of the institution, as Catherine Ekongwe tells us.
The ceremony of the Award of Excellence to students from the University of Gandhi, chaired by the Rector of the University, in the presence of the Dean of Faculty of Science and Management, brought together teachers and students of the institution. Honors were given to best students of the 2020-2021 academic year for their brilliant performances at the FSEG. This ceremony has been a tradition of the faculty for several years.
Days of Excellence by the School of Economics and Management presents, if you look at the program, what have they done? It motivates the students, because when you award prizes for the best student, it encourages the others to be able to push on. But if not, among other things, they signed a partnership with Afriland First Bank, and in this partnership is to be able to get the students on field placement at Afriland First Bank, to recruit the students. And if the University of Gandhi through...
While receiving her award, the most deserving student of all entities reveals that the secret of success lies in hard work and class attendance.
Especially the Faculty of Economics and Management Sciences. When I came here, they encouraged me, they motivated me to be the best. And today I've not disappointed them. I came out the first of my class, Masters 2, and I was also the major, that's the first of the first. And I want to thank enormously the various enterprises, Afriland First Bank, Camtel, and various associations that gave us these prizes, because it encourages us to work harder. And one thing that I also want to say to the freshmen and the sophomores is that be focused on what you're doing, do your best, and study hard. That's the only thing that pays.
The ceremony equally saw the signing of partnership between the Faculty of Economic and Management of the University of Gandhi and Afriland First Bank. This aims at facilitating the integration of students during their internships and eventual recruitments.
This afternoon, the convention with Afriland First Bank and Faculty of Economics and Management can assure you that we have totally realized all our activities and we are satisfied globally.
Inviting everyone to play their parts, the rector of the university expressed appreciation to the dean of FSEG for his initiative.
The people of Lower Ewane neighborhood in Boya have a new traditional ruler. Chief Reverend Paul Malowa Thonga was coronated as the second chief of Lower Ewane during a ceremony attended by villagers and chiefs from neighboring villages. Clarice Ekowe completes the story from Boya.
Through this ritual, Chief Reverend Paul Molua was officially recognized and coronated as the second traditional ruler of Lower Ewane, a neighborhood found in Boya, southwest region of the country. He was installed over the weekend during a ceremony attended by some chiefs and the villagers. With much underdevelopment experience in this village due to the fact that Lower Ewane village has been without a chief for a long while now, the new traditional ruler of Lower Ewane unveils that his first preoccupation will be to revamp the village.
Well, my first plan of action, as you can see around me, the place is not yet developed as such. we have a great task ahead of us to develop the place, to work together with everyone in the community to make sure that the place gets to a better place.
Chief Reverend Mulwa further called on his subjects residing out of the village to come back to the village as it is time for them to build together.
I want to say to my villagers that they have a king now, so they have a ruler, so their worry is supposed to be tabled to the ruler and not to be worried alone, and everything that they have, they should bring it to the palace and everything will be solved.
After the coronation, a heavily attended reception was organized the following day, during which the villagers pledged their support to the new traditional ruler of Lower Ewunda.
Almost close to 70 years. 70 years. So the chief. We're like very happy for the event because a village for a very long time without a chief, people did not see it. Now we have a chief on that village. So make that all the villagers, they should not have any problem. If they have a problem, they should come back to the palace. The problem will be solved. And to develop the village, when you see the village, at least it's still a little bit bad. We have a lot to do on it.
The celebration was equally attended by some men of God who poured their blessing through prayers to the traditional stool of Lower Ewunda.
The Cameroon Association for Media Professionals, CAM, has set the ball rolling for the 4th edition of the Victoria International Media Merit Award 2021. The award, slated for Friday, December 3rd, meant to consider the efforts of individuals and institutions promoting social cohesion, tourism, and culture. Clarissa Koe once again.
Cameroon Association of Media Professionals, CAM, has set the ball rolling for the 4th edition of the Victoria International Media Merit Award 2021. The award this year is dubbed Social Cohesion, Tourism, Culture and Communication.
And we think the media has a very vital role in promoting social cohesion. That is why exceptionally this year we have 10 special awards only for journalists.
Talking to media professionals during this press conference in Limbe, the executive director of VIMA, Tayan Enombika, explained that the award, which started in 2018, was limited in scope as the award was geared towards recognizing some individuals of Victoria who had impacted lives and the political landscape of Victoria. This year, the perspective is different as 3 categories of award has been created, that is, one for Victorians, the other for nationals and internationals.
Award to the international scene, why do we have a limit? So we open up the award to make it national and international. That's why we had other categories like best journal, best sports journalist, best banks and all of that. So
on her part, the vice president of VIMA, Noel Tamnjong, noted that the 25 awards that shall be given out to the media category follows certain criteria.
The nominees do not apply to be voted. It's thrown to the public depending on the various forums, and they are nominated, and like the EDs are submitted by those various nominees.
Meanwhile, to the CAM president Solomon Agborem, he appreciated journalists for their contribution in promoting social cohesion, tourism, and culture through the news reporting. It should be noted that the award ceremony, built for Friday, December 10, 2021, will hold at Down Beach, Limbe, under the distinguished patronage of the SEO for FACO, Emmanuel Ngamba Lodus. Talks will also be delivered by international experts on social cohesion and the humanitarian crisis.
A few days into elections to determine who heads activities of the Cameroon Football Federation FECAFOOT, the power of prediction narrows down in the minds of individuals as front-runner Samuel Eto'o and interim President Seydou Mbombo continue to consolidate their position by works and wealth. Nolinga completes the story.
Build up to the election of presidents at the helm of the Cameroon Football Federation FECAFOOT is getting even hotter, with various candidates on the field demonstrating their worth for the position in a bid to woo and win fans over to their various teams. At the pronouncement of interim President Seydou Mbombo's competitors, it was crystal clear Samuel Eto'o would be the biggest threat likely to overthrow the incumbent president. But let's see how time tells. From the start of their campaigns, Samuel Eto'o ignites a guerrilla warfare strategy by organizing a series of tours almost nationwide, meeting with the people one-on-one. Besides that, even without efforts, the competing candidate has received both national and international motions of support from stakeholders, giving many offline and online prophets the impression Samuel Eto'o would be the next president of Fecafoot. But as an all-broom sweeps better the four corners of the house, so too interim President Seydou Mbombo Njoya seems to have consolidated stability at the helm of the 2021 Fecafoot presidential race, given that after Samuel Eto'o's almost all-country tour, Njoya, on the other hand, plagiarously retaliates. And just to add, recently the competition continues to get stiffer as Samuel Eto'o begins to lose potential supporters in the likes of the Fecafoot delegates from the 6 regions who outrightly backed Njoya in a readable release house. And most shockingly, Jules Denise Onana has also refused an alliance with Eto'o. 3 days before the date of the elections, the Players' Union contacted the Electoral Committee to withdraw the status of delegates from which Jules Denise became favor for another whom he claims will be able to respect voting conditions. However, to say Samuel Eto'o's place in the race is being threatened may be ambiguous, as the charismatic Vice President for Fecafoot is nonetheless still receiving a cluster of support from the masses, traditional rulers, and football legends alike, and of course, maybe you.
The Lingande reports in there now for a hitch-free transmission of information during African competition, sports and physical education. Minister Narcisse Mwele Kambi yesterday chaired a seminar to mobilize Cameroonian social media influencers and web activists. The seminar took place at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex, as Jain Gang tells us.
1 month away from the African Cup of Nations, Minister of Sports and Physical Education Narcisse Mwele Kambi has presided over 2 seminars to mobilize web influencers with a wide range of following on social media platforms and web activists on their indispensable role during the competition come January 2022.
We are mobilizing web influencers who have the fame and the audience to equip them with the necessary information and objectives such that they carry out an effective and positive communication.
Natalie Kwa, Laura Dave, Coco Emilia, among other Cameroonian social media influencers in attendance, promised to promote the objective of the seminar to unite themselves around a coordinated and concerted strategy in view of an efficient digital promotion of Cameroon, as well as a massive membership in the organization of the competition. I will transmit the information, but of course, the right information, promote the Cameroonian know-how and promote our country in general.
AFCON is an occasion for us to showcase our values. We have to show the world these beautiful futures.
At this point, the local organizing committee of the African Cup of Nations is playing all their cards to ensure a smooth and remarkable competition.
Joy Ngang's report concludes the 6:30 p.m. edition of News on My Media Brand Television. Coming up at 7 p.m. is Prime with Kum Leonard and his team. My name is Fon Quinter. Have a great evening in the company of more programs on the African Eye. Good night.